Morning peeps, good morning everyone, how's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Speculation over. This December 23rd card is a goer. All the fighters, managers, promoters are heading to London as we speak for the press conference. I'm going to be heading over in about 3 hours. I'm filming this at 10 in the morning. I have been told I am interviewing Deontay Wilder, AJ, Otto Wallin, Joseph Parker, and both Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. So Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn are going to be together at this press conference, which, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen them together at a press conference. I'm sure it probably happened when Eddie first started, but obviously of recent, I mean, these guys haven't been in the same room together. So this is going to be very interesting. AJ Wilder together at a press conference is going to be very, very interesting. I can't wait for it. There's a few things, I guess, questions that need to be answered. Who is main event? Is it AJ, Otto Wallin? Is it Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker? I'm guessing it's AJ versus Otto Wallin. Who is going to be broadcasting this event in the UK? Is it going to be DAZN? Is it going to be TNT? Is there going to be one arena, or like the Fury and Ngannou fight, is there going to be an undercard arena and then a main event arena? I have a feeling, if it's the same setup, I have a feeling there's going to be an undercard arena and AJ, Otto Wallin, Wilder, Parker will be in the main arena. That's how I think it's going to be played out. But look, we'll find out when we get there. I can't wait for this press conference because, again, just because of the people that are going to be there, I feel like sparks are going to fly. Like, again, we've never seen, or I don't think we have anyway, ever seen Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn together. And I don't know if there will be two separate press conferences. I have no idea how this is playing out. All I've been told is, Addy, get to the venue for 2 o'clock and do your thing. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We do have the fight card. Let's quickly go over it. I think everyone has now seen it, but let's quickly talk about it. It's there on social media. Obviously, main event, or what I think will be main event, AJ versus Otto Wallin. Good fight. Risky fight. There's a few people on Twitter saying, like, why is AJ rolling the dice with this one? Again, Otto Wallin, good fighter, southpaw. It's coming off a good win against Gassier. We all know and all remember the fight with Tyson Fury. I have seen AJ versus Otto Wallin, Haringey Box Cup 2010. 2010? Yeah, 2010, doing the rounds where AJ won that fight. So I guess this is a rematch of sorts, but look, that's a good fight. Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker is a very good fight. I mean, both of these are banana skins, you know. I think people, you know what, you can't please boxing fans, you know. I mean, you really can't. And I put myself in that bracket because everyone seems to be disgusted that it's not AJ Wilder without appreciating that Wilder Parker's a very good fight and Joshua Wallin is a very good fight. Like, just separately, those two heavyweight fights are very, very good. And as much as people think Wilder will ice Parker, Wilder's been inactive, man. Wilder's had one round of boxing in 2 years and is 38. Whereas Parker's been busy. I mean, win or lose, Parker's been busy. He's now obviously created this relationship bond with Andy Lee. They seem to understand each other. He likes being in the Fury camp and he looked good last time out. So I don't know. Daniel Dubois versus Jarrell Miller. Strange, right? I mean, it's going to be exciting. I mean, if Jarrell Miller's anything like he was prior to being popped for every steroid on planet Earth, then this is a good fight. And Daniel Dubois is back in there again immediately. I mean, geez, he's getting the fights, huh? I mean, you get Alexander Usyk in Poland where he would have been paid. And now you get Jarrell Miller in Saudi Arabia where he's going to get paid. So yeah, they're three, I think, intriguing heavyweight fights. Dmitry Bivol versus Lyndon Arthur. I saw Lyndon on the weekend. And you know this has just come around because there was a lot of talk about Craig Richards versus Lyndon Arthur. Craig Richards was there on the weekend as well. And me and him were talking about it. Saying, yeah, Lyndon Arthur is like, yeah, they're trying to make that fight. And all of a sudden, it's Dmitry Bivol versus Lyndon Arthur. I think Lyndon Arthur stepped up because I remember it was Bivol versus someone else before. But anyway, look, Bivol's on this card. Jaya Pataya versus Ellis Zorro. Big ass this one for Ellis. Look, he's unbeaten. Didn't he win that Boxer Cruiserweight tournament thing? He's unbeaten, but I think Jaya Pataya is the best cruiserweight on planet Earth, so that isn't going to be easy. There were some rumours, and it's obviously not true, that it was supposed to be Jaya Pataya versus Richard Riakporhe. Obviously, Richard Riakporhe is fighting this weekend. There was a lot of talk about him just scrapping that and going straight for this one, but it isn't happening. Filip Hrgović versus Mark Demori. What the fuck? Of all the fights, this is the one where I'm like, oh, really? I'm not going to complain because, you know, you see fight cards nowadays and it certainly isn't as stacked as this. But Mark Demori, remember him when he fought David Haye years ago. I will say this, though. He's been unbeaten since, but you look at the BoxRec record. I mean, this guy's clearly on this circuit of fighting journeyman and just knocking him out and enjoys it. He will get stopped by Filip Hrgović, I think. Arslanbek Makhmudov versus Agit Kabayel. Jeez. Like, obviously Makhmudov was on the fight card of Fury versus Ngannou, where he fought this blown up cruiserweight. Agit Kabayel, European heavyweight champion, or was or is. That's an intriguing fight. You can't really, you can't complain. This is the best fight card of some time. Like, show me a fight card as deep as this. You can't. It's impossible. And Frank Sanchez versus Junior Farr. Frank Sanchez should run through Junior Farr. What it really should be is scrap Mark Demori, scrap Junior Farr, and Frank Sanchez versus Filip Hrgović. But I'm asking for too much. We're asking for too much. You don't get fight cards like this. So look, intriguing fight card. Fighters from all over the place. There's a couple of Matchroom fighters on this one. There's certainly a couple of Queensbury fighters on this one. Who else is on there? Wasserman in Lyndon Arthur. A couple of PBC fighters. I'm not quite sure who Kabayel is with. But what I'm trying to say is that we have fighters from so many different platforms coming together. And this is what can be done when money's put behind the sport. Obviously, money talks, and these people are willing to do it, which is, again, for us, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's interesting. You know what I will say, and fight fans, and I tweeted this, and we'll end on this one. It's not a long video. Fight fans are like, oh, this has not been a great year for boxing. It's a crap year because I'm guessing we didn't get AJ Wilder and Fury Usyk. Stop complaining. It's been an incredible year. Incredible. We've had undisputed fights this year. We've had number one versus, you know, think about what we've got coming up still. Like what we've got this card coming up, right? We've got Katie Taylor versus Cameron coming up. So this is what we've just got coming up. Sonny versus Bam is coming up. We got Inoue undisputed fight coming up. Haney versus Prograis coming up. Shakur Stevenson fights this weekend against Santos coming up. Stop. Do you know what I mean? Stop. We've had a good year. I mean, any year that gives you Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, great year. Canelo versus Charlo, great year. Garcia Tank, great year. My only complaints about this year, and if we got this, then boxing would have been the best year ever, is that we didn't get Bivol Beterbiev. Right, I really wanted to see that fight, although I thought Beterbiev versus Anthony Yarde was quite entertaining. But we didn't get that. We didn't see, and this surprised me when I saw it the other day, no Chocolatito or Estrada this year, which I think is very disappointing. Remember, their fight against each other was December 2022. And there was one more that I was going to complain about, obviously the undisputed heavyweight title fight. Apart from that, I'm not mad. We got Teofimo Lopez, Josh Taylor this year. Like, what are we doing? Stop complaining. Like, boxing, like, I don't know how long you've been watching the sport, but boxing's never given you years like that. It's not happened. Like, not years where you get undisputed fights. Again, number one versus number two, unification fights. And then you chuck in the female title fights as well that we've not discussed. It's been a good year. Do we want more? Absolutely, but not bad.